What is up, everybody? Monkey Puzzle here, and I am back on the IronMine Olympus modded server, and I'm here at our community center at approximately 50-50 on the map, which you've seen in my previous episodes and other folks' episodes, and it has grown quite a bit. So last time I left you, I was going to take my little allotted space. We all get this little 3x4 spot to make our little starter hut. And I had set up some of the workstations from some of the mods, most notably castles, keeps, and fortresses. And I was going to play around with them and see what I can do. Well, I did that. And this is what I came up with. So this is my starter shack for this server. I just went ahead and did it because I needed to learn what these pieces do. And this is actually a pretty simple structure, but it looks really fancy just because the pieces do that for you. So these are all from the masonry tier of the Castle, Keeps, and Fortresses mod. There are those two other lower tiers that I showed you before, basically the equivalent of the thatch tier and the wood tier. Those two are in here. We've got the villager crafting table and the carpentry table. So I've got those packed away right now. I do need to maybe get them in here so I can play with those pieces later for some future builds. I'd have to turn these all sideways. But let me give you a quick tour first of what I've built and then of the CC. So this is just going to be a tour on this episode. And the next episode, or maybe I'm actually going to stream next, I think on Friday night. And I'm going to explore the map with you all, because on Saturday the map opens up for moving out of the CC. Right now we have a rule that you cannot build anything outside of the CC unless it's on a mobile structure, like on a Bronto or a raft or whatever. So this place is about ready to bust. And the frame rate is definitely hurting. That's just ARK for you with all the creatures and all the buildings. We tried to keep it minimal, but you can see what's happened with that. Anyway, so yeah, I got to explore. So I want to do that, I think, as a stream with you guys, because it's going to take me quite a while. I haven't done too much of it yet, so we'll get there. But yeah, so I took that tier of it, and I just used a few different parts. Basically, I used a whole bunch of these things, which is the keep archway ornate wall, and I did them in two different textures. So those parts are the same as these parts, but these ones, basically with this stuff, you can change the texture on them, and you get all these choices. So you can go graystone, which is the one that it starts with, and that's pretty cool. That's your basic castle stone, but I thought it looked a little boring, so I chose the red granite. But we also have mossy sandstone, hellfire, dark matter, obsidian, and wooden. So wooden is what that is up there. So that's how these are the same part. And real quick, if you haven't seen them, that's mossy, that's sandstone, so kind of that adobe look, but you know, it's not adobe, of course, it's sandstone. There's hellfire, that's pretty fanciful, so yeah, for maybe building it in a volcano or something like that. We've got the red granite. You've seen the dark matter, which is kind of otherworldly, kind of evil looking, and the obsidian, which I kind of like. Looks like pretty wealthy if you built with that. Anyway, we'll go back to the red granite. So this stuff only took wood, stone, and raw metal. The first batch of metal I brought back, I actually smelted up, and then I learned that it had to be raw. So these two corners, these are rounded, and that's pretty neat look. I like it, and I did that so, whoa, a little rubber banding. I did that so that this stairwell wouldn't have a little corner here that you could fall down into. And you can see actually that the textures here are different on the outside and on the inside, and that's pretty cool. So this actually here is a ceiling, the keep ceiling rounded inverse left, that just fills in that little outside part so I can make it its own texture. And then in here, this is a rounded foundation. So that's all pretty cool. So in here on this bottom level, I've got my workshop. This is just one piece high, all of this. One thing that's different about this mod is that the pieces are 1.5 building pieces high, you know, relative to the ARK vanilla pieces. And they're not exactly, so that's a bit of a problem. It's actually kind of like 1.4 pieces high. So if you're mixing and matching with the vanilla pieces, that would be kind of an issue. But anyway, here it works out. It's a little cozy down here, but it's big enough. I kind of like it. And so yeah, this is all my workshop down here. I've got the advanced forge from the advanced ships mod, so I can smelt metal. I've got my smithy. I got a bunch of the S plus crafting stations because they hold 300 things. And then let me see, I've got the grindstone from advanced ships, and this is the, or advanced rafts. And this is the Advanced Rafts crafting station. That's a chum bucket that helps meat spoil more. This is the landscape desk, and you can make actual landscape blocks that you can build up the terrain with this. And I'll show you an example of that when we take the tour of the rest of it. I've got a bunch of these barrels. Also, definitely making good use of the Advanced Rafts mod because it's got a lot of cool stuff. Let me see, just, you know, your basic preserving bin. These are those two of the 3 bait stations from the immersive taming mod. So last episode, you saw me use this. If you didn't, you should go check that out. And this will be for bigger trophy creatures. So we'll get to that. Eco's mod is giving me running water all over the place. So that's cool. I'm definitely appreciating that. And then out here, I've got my little outdoor kitchen with my Eco's cooker and the cauldron, which is kind of like a cooker, industrial cooker, because you can irrigate it, but unlike the S Plus one, it doesn't have the recipes inside. I've got a nice little bench here on my little covered back patio that I can hang out and look at the dock down below, which is pretty cool. I'll show you that in a second. And then that's mostly it, I think, for the downstairs. Upstairs, let me see, I've got my personal stuff here. Well, this is for gear and armor. This is my inventory dump whenever I want to do fast travel. And in this one, I've got my skins. So these are storage from the Castle Keeps and Fortresses mod. So this is basically equivalent to the small storage chest, and this is equivalent to the big one. So that's pretty cool. And then in here, this is my bedroom and some other things. So these are 2 crafting stations from Eco's shop decor mod. So you can do awnings and various shelves and all kinds of cool things. I didn't make too much. This one's the upholstery one. This one is the shop decor. And there's also one for making signs. But I don't have that one out because it's like a huge crate and it doesn't look very good. And I've got the desk for the furniture and decor crafting. And someone gave me this cool fancy chair. I'm not even sure what mod this is from, but I really appreciate that. And then I've got my bed here, my little rock golem plushie. And while I was sleeping, Mikey, it looks like, gave me this copper bed. It's from the Steampunk mod. So he left me this little note. Here's the Steampunk bed from Mikey. Thank you very much, Mikey. So we can actually, let's pick these up because they're so ugly. These look like prison cots. And we are doing much better in the world here. We've come up quite a bit. Everybody has really quickly. So we've gone from having nothing to having this really sweet little pad. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Cool. And I wonder if you can lay on this one. Oh, you cannot. So I will still need the vanilla one because... Oh, wait. Sleep copper bed. Oh, nice. Oh, and it even fits 2 people. Awesome. So I can lay on that. And so, yeah, I got my fancy bed. And then here is my upper back porch. I've got the Eco's Stables crafting station here. And then, when I'm done with it all, I can take a hot tub in my flak armor. And check out the whole view of this lovely space for Anne. I purposely picked the corner lot here so I could have a view. It's unobstructed, so that's pretty sweet. So yeah, That's what I came up with my first foray into it, into the Castles, Keeps, and Fortresses mod. And oh yeah, check this out. I was so excited about this. There actually are roof pieces that fit together. So check that out. Up here in the rounded ones, there's actually a rounded corner piece, which is awesome. Slope pieces, of course. But then back here in the square corner, you actually can have... It takes two pieces, but you can actually have a matching corner rather than having the overlapping ones that you always have to use in vanilla or S+, which just looks so rough and weird. And so, yeah, having a roof that fits together, and then if you have a roof on a odd number of foundations and you got this middle section, now you've got this roof topper, this one that can go up top and join the two, which is awesome. And then you even have these little corner gables that you can stick in there to fill those little triangle places. And the roof, like the rest of the thing, has a bunch of different texture options. We can pick sandstone, wood shingles, Welsh slate, terracotta, obsidian, redwood, hellfire, and green tile. This one I picked was the obsidian. I liked it because it had the most contrast of those. These are the lights from the Advanced Rafts mod, so I'll actually take a pause here and I'll show you those at night so you can see what they do. And so this is what it looks like at night. So here are those lights. The place is pretty well lit up. You can see that I'm not gammaed up at all, and I don't really need to. I can see everything. It's pretty well comfortably lit. And upstairs, the same thing. So those work out pretty well, and these guys have two kinds of light. They've got the incandescent and the fluorescent. They're missing the LED. But the incandescent is just a little bit more yellow. So we're getting to be daytime here already, but you guys get the point. So I prefer the white light from them, and they do a pretty good job, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, so those are pretty cool. And so I think that completes the tour of my little starter shack here. I think it's the swankest starter shack I've ever had. It'll definitely do the job. So, and like I said, it's pretty simple really, even though the parts make it look fancy, but at least it kind of got my feet wet in some of these new pieces, and there's so many more to learn still. So let's do a quick tour here and then we'll sign out for this episode. So we'll just come around this way. So over here, Hunt has made a dock because the boats, when we were parked on the beach, kept getting attacked. I guess some of these advanced rafts ships act as entities. So this is an elevator from the advanced ships, or I keep wanting to call it advanced ships, but the Advanced Rafts mod. So clearly the aberration elevator came off of this. And then we've got these rafts here. In the interest of time, I'm just going to stop and go back up. But that would go all the way down. And you can see folks have their various pre-built ships and their ship building projects parked down here. And it matches up with that little island down there. A little rock sticking out of the water. So it can be far away from all the things that would attack those ships. And maybe they'll stick around. So let's see. We got some Ovis. This was the original community center shelter right here, which was full of beds. Now it's a home to a fabricator and fewer beds. It's not too fancy, it's just a little box, but it does have this awesome cat skeleton figurehead on it. So that's pretty cool. Someone's got a wind turbine going on there. There's a little greenhouse behind it. And then, let me see, over here, Mikey has his mobile shelter. So Mikey just gave me that bed you saw, and you can see on top of here he's got the basic starter stuff for Steampunk. So the steam workstation, the metal blast forge, the industrial copper forge, and the steam tannery. So he's gonna be mobile. He doesn't actually have a little hut yet, but he's gonna use this. He had a very similar idea that I did. He wants to make a castle that's a combination of the Castle Keeps Fortress and Steampunk. So it's going to be like stone and copper and all that. So that should be pretty cool. Over here, we have a new guy on the server. Glax, he has redesigned his house about 3-4 times. I think 3 times. Pretty much everybody has. Every time I look, these places get remodeled again and again. Rimtus hasn't been on too much, so she hasn't built yet, but she has been on to tame a few things. She's got a Carno and a Jerboa, and I think there was a Dimorphodon around here. This is Cracker's place, which is in a transition right now. She wanted to have the Pimp My Home mods on here, and now she's using them. Apparently they're pretty expensive. They require quite a bit of polymer, so it's taking her a while, and they've got that really modern house look. These two have a bunch of textures that you can choose from. You can change the material. Oh, just pressing R. Anyway, I'm going to leave that alone from now. We'll get out of here. And I'll show you that later on. But these are the crafting stations for them. So it's got, this one has a sleepy Jerboa. And this one has a sleepy Megalosaurus with a little Hello Kitty doll, which is pretty cool. So yeah, and I think Symbol is staying here as well. And then, oh yeah, Cracker's, part of her tradition is usually, well, at least on the Aberration, she had a starter house that everybody took over to be the community center. So she said next time she'd have a sign that says, "Get off my lawn." And 9-leaf clover keeps leaving poop on it. And so I gave her a lawn so she could have something that, you know, actually applied for the sign. So this is an example of that landscape blocks mod. These are actually, can be much taller. I sunk them here, and they're stackable, and you can change the textures on the side. And there's a whole bunch of them. So that's pretty cool right there. And then, let me see, over here we got Ramondan's place. It's the vanilla parts, or at least S Plus versions of them. Pretty cool design. I like it. It's pretty innovative, nice and spacious. Good use of the railings, and he has been very busy on here as well. Sorry it's a little framey, but that's just something that's happening with the CC at this point. And we're hanging in there, but just barely. And James has his place. He also has a boat out there that he's building, a raft. Custom built that he's going to move out on. So let's just be nosy and take a little peek inside his place. So yeah, he's got a couple of different levels to it and got a bunch of the basics. And then, oh yeah, little compartments to put some dinos in here. And then 9-leaf clover has also made good use of the Castle Keeps and Forts mod here. And he's got some flags and banners, and he's using, this is the villager tier. And it too has multiple textures that you can choose from. In the interest of time, I won't show you those all right now. And he's got it nice and swank inside here as well. And got the Steampunk Metal Blast Forge going on. I think this might be one of the first things you need to make. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see if we can get out of here this way and carry on. So over here we got B-Fun with his stable that is also made with the CKF mod. He's got some pretty impressive first tames here, some utility dinos, and I'm pretty sure this is all Castle Keeps fortresses, except for the rope railings, which I'm pretty sure come from the Advanced Raft mod. And these ones, I'm wondering if I can get a look at them, if these are from Ecos or from Castle Keeps. They must be, because they match the Castle Keeps fortresses stuff. So someone reminding us to stay hydrated. You lose water really quickly here. And then over here we got some more tames. This is Bison's mobile fortress here, and he's got a house over there we'll get to. Another new guy on the server, Draft Gull. And he's got a little place I actually haven't seen yet. So there he is, and got a nice simple place. Not too moddy yet, but he came on after a bunch of us, so just a little basic starter place. And then Wilson, another new guy on the server. We got a bunch of new folks on here because I guess that first episode got a bunch of people to join and come on and become patrons and get on the server. And, oop, oh my goodness, what happened there? That's a wood wall. I think he had something, somebody came and borrowed a blueprint from him that shouldn't have, so he's got his place blocked off for now, so we're not going to be able to go in there. But he's got it pretty good looking. Another texture of the Castle Keeps Fortress, and he's got a little greenhouse up on top there, so that's pretty cool. And then over here is Karmic Coffees. He was actually the first one to use this mod, and I really like what he did. It's very architectural, different 3D uses of the spaces, so it kind of recesses in, or actually I guess it extends out, which was actually quite common in medieval housing. And he got this little place for the door, and then the nice pattern on the floor, and then all the various workstations in here, and then a nice upper floor that's still got a lot of possibilities going on in it. So, and so many tames and so few frames. Over here is Trigger Pug. This wasn't here at all last time I saw this. Ooh, look at that fancy door. Ooh, it kind of stutters a little bit there. Probably just because it's here in the CC. But last time I was here, he just had this, I think. So he's gone the steampunk route, except he did a nice combination with using it and the dark matter theme from the Castle Keeps Fortresses, which actually goes pretty well. He's got it there in the gable as well. And there he is sleeping, floating on his bed. And so yeah, this is getting pretty steampunky, pretty good looking. Nice back window there. Good job, Trigger Pug. And then Bison, who also had the Bronto down there. It's got a nice red place. He's already got an artifact up there, which is just amazing. And pretty basic inside, but it does the job. The red makes it really kind of stand out and look like something else. And he's got a bunch of good tames here too. And then O'Reilly, my man O'Reilly, he did a combination of stuff. He's got that nice little jaunty angle there. So basic parts, but nice little use of them. And I like the combination of the wood and then the glass, the just kind of glass metal from S+. So yeah, that's pretty cool how those go together. Makes it look kind of primitive and modern all at the same time. He's got his little front porch here, and then him and I can sit here and gossip about the neighborhood and like, hey, did you see what they built? Oh my God, oh, the neighborhood's going downhill. Oh my God, let's call the homeowners association. Or not. But anyway, yeah, nice little front porch to hang out on and chill out. And then he's got his back porch too, which can function much the same way. And we got a whole little bunch of backyards all stacked up here. And these are really cool. This is the dock from the Advanced Rafts mod once again. But these are neat because they extend down as much as you need them to. I think up to like 13 blocks down. I'm not exactly sure. But if you're building on uneven terrain and you want it to look realistic and not just a bunch of pillars, they do that for you. So that's pretty darn cool. And then we're back around to my house. So there you go, guys. That is a tour of the IronMine Community Center on the IronMine Olympus modded server. So I'm pretty excited. I'm having fun. This is a great start. And in a day or two, we're all going to be able to claim land around the map. So yeah, I've got some exploring to do. So I know where I want to go, but you know, it's no big rush. And a lot of cool folks on here, a lot of creativity happening. There's probably more folks I missed because they don't have their space right here in the CC. So sorry for that. And there's still some more folks who are working their way here or onto the server. So yeah. If you want to play here, you can. All you got to do is become a patron of one of the Iron Miners and come on down. So, yeah, we're having a good time, a bunch of good folks. I hope you're enjoying this series too. I am a lot. I'm very excited for what's to come. But for now, I'm going to thank you for watching until the end of this episode. and I will see you in the next one. I gotta tone that down. Bye-bye.